And we are back. Man, it's been a while since we've played this. Got sidetracked with so many things. You know what? Enough about that. Let's just get to it. It's been so long. We didn't even get far into the first case yet. Huh. Okay, hold up, let me do something real quick. Since I've already played through this, I think just for the sake of time, story mode, let's do it. Game will restart? Oh, never mind. Forget that. No, we're not doing story mode just yet. Then we'll hold off on that. Okay, where did we leave off? Huh. Let's look here, I guess. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. What's this? What's this? A red button. Hey, do you think... Could it have been dropped by a red-hooded suspect? Yes, it certainly seems likely. Hold on, that's not quite the Edgeworth voice. $3. I think that's it, huh? That's the only thing. There's nothing of interest here. Hey, Arthur, what's up? It is peak, isn't it? Yes. There are toy rifles lined up along the counter. Oh, a rifle range. I'm good at these, sir. A regular sharpshooter. I thought you said you hated guns. Oh, I don't hate them. I just don't really like them. Isn't that basically the same thing? Thing. Oh, right, we gotta talk to her. You say you attended today's ceremony in order to gather material for an article of some kind.
You bet I did. It ain't the kind of thing that happens every day.
And when did the ceremony begin?
Right after the rain stopped. We got lucky. It was raining all morning before that. Anyhow, the president's plane touched down right around 1:45, and the speech started at 2 on the nose.
What about the shooting?
Must have been maybe 20 after?
So 20 minutes after the ceremony began.
Yeah! Shots ring out tearing through that air that only moments before had been alive with cheers. Then tragedy. The president dropped on the floor, felled by an unknown assassin's bullet. It's 2:25 p.m. on March 25th, and I've been reporting to you live from the scene here at Gord Lake.
What was that all about?
Sorry, just making some voice notes. Gotta get those ideas down the second they come to the old noggin, you know? And every day you get a report on the assassination of a president, after all. It's dramatic. It's emotional. It's got everything I need to write an article that puts the readers right there on the scene.
And did the president really drop to the floor? Officers on the scene said his bodyguards escorted him straight onto the presidential plane.
Hey, y'all can't blame me for getting a little carried away now, can ya?
I'd better take any testimony she gives with a good-sized pinch of salt. Salt.
Stop it. Call me a reporter and all. It's kind of weird when somebody else says it. Still, Tabby Lloyd, reporter at large. Does kind of a ring to it, don't you think?
But you are a reporter, correct?
Sure am. A reporter in training.
But have you even had any articles published?
Fixing to look up my work, huh? Well, that might be tricky.
And yet you call yourself a reporter nonetheless.
Well, I soon will be, won't I? This right here is a big old scoop, no mistake about it. And I got the whole thing on tape. Didn't miss a second. It's all thanks to my trusty mic. And my even trustier tape machine. I'm about to set the journalistic world on fire, just like my mentor before me. You know the Chief Ruffles, my mentor, my inspiration?
No, but you have mentioned her repeatedly.
Did I? Can't really say I remember.
What kind of reporter forgets a thing like that?
Well, it's just like the Chief always says. You gotta treat information as irresponsibly as you can.
And what kind of mentor says that?
Oh, you should have heard her the day she gave me here this tape machine. You be sure and bag yourself the juiciest, sleaziest scoops you can now, you hear?
Wonderful. So you're the kind of reporter who sees fire under even the faintest trace of smoke.
No, I'm the kind of reporter who puffs on a fire till the smoke about chokes you.
How is that any better? She is one of the reporters of all time. Hey Ahmad, how you doing? No, I don't want to talk to you. You're useless right now. I see you. I want to see you. Oh, right. Oh, wait. Oh, wait a minute. I think I missed something earlier. Whoopsie! There it is. There's something red down there. Detective Gumshoe, can you see what is under the stand, please? There's something down here, alright? Let's see. A red raincoat! This must be.
The one the suspect was wearing.
They must have taken it off and hidden it under there before they made their escape.
Let's take a look at it.
The sleeve. It's inside out. The button is missing too.
And now?
The button we found seems to have come from this raincoat. It must have been pulled loose when the killer took it off. Huh. The right sleeve's inside out too. It seems it was removed in a hurry. Fast enough to tear a button off, no less. I surmise our assassin disposed of the gun and bag in the trash immediately after shooting at the president. They then slipped into the panicked crowd and moved from the left to the right side of the spectator area. This was because they knew the trajectory of the bullet would point to a shooter on the left side. Finally, they removed the raincoat and hid it under the samurai dog stand. The killer would have needed to get rid of the coat as soon as possible, hence its hurried removal. The fact that the right sleeve is inside out is a testament to how quickly it was taken off. Yep, that and the missing button. The question, of course, is, why didn't the same thing happen to the left sleeve? Oh yeah, only the right sleeve is inside out. Indeed, and the button on the left sleeve is still securely attached. So, what does this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? If we're to answer that question, Detective, we'll need to inspect the raincoat in more detail. The right sleeve is inside out.
You can clearly see where the button was torn off.
Yes. Whoever discarded this raincoat did so in quite a hurry.
What else am I supposed to look at here? Oh, this?
Let's take a closer look at the inside of the raincoat. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir! Oh. This is a blood stain. And considering where it's located, I'd say the blood belongs to our would-be assassin. So we're looking for someone with an injury. Not just any injury, Detective. An injury on their left arm. Huh. How do we know that? It's simple. The right sleeve is inside out, suggesting that the suspect removed the raincoat in a hurry. Conversely, the left sleeve is just as we would expect it to be. Therefore, the suspect's left arm was never in the sleeve in the first place. And once we understand that, everything else falls into place. Now, Detective, there's a bloodstain on the left side lining of the raincoat because the suspect's arm was too injured to fit through the sleeve. Precisely. Or at least, we can say that there's a good probability that that was the case. The pieces are starting to fall into place. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Detective Gumshoe, I need you to go and search the crowd for likely suspects. Yes, sir! Suspicious characters with injured left arms, coming right up!
You've been smarter than you look, Ruffles. Taking all the bitty pieces and putting them together like that. You have your man in no time. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you.
The park is still cordoned off, so our would-be assassin should still be in the crowd somewhere. Where? Don't let me down, Detective Gumshoe. Shoo. Mr. Edgeworth! We found someone who fits the bill perfectly, sir.
Waiting at the assassin, Gummy.
Hold on, Kay. It's a little soon to be jumping to conclusions. For the moment, they're a person of interest and nothing more. Understood?
Okay, no jumping.
But he's our shooter, sir. I'm sure of it. He's the guy who tried to take out the president. In broad daylight, surrounded by a crowd of witnesses. This is no ordinary assassin. Bring him over here, Detective. Carefully. Yes, sir! Come on, boys! You hurt, Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, he doesn't look suspicious at all.
He doesn't look familiar at all.
Totally not our guy! No umbrella, and a bandage on his left arm. Well, pal, state your name already! Doe. John Doe. Charmed, I'm sure. John Doe. Not a name you often hear in real life. That's correct. I know this man from somewhere, I'm sure of it. And you are Prosecutor Edgeworth. You know my name? Of course. I have been following the day's developments with some interest. Now perhaps you'd care to explain why you've asked to speak with me. As you've been following our investigation, you're no doubt already aware of who we're looking for. So let me ask you, do you recognize his raincoat by any chance? Forgive me, but I am afraid I do not. I see. Well, I believe its owner to be the would-be assassin we are seeking. My. Well, isn't that just shocking? And the same would-be assassin happens to have an injured left arm. Just like you. All I can tell you is that I had nothing to do with this unfortunate affair.
The two adversaries stare down each other, their eyes like deadly lasers.
Hold up, let me adjust my mic real quick. I don't know why my mic's like so droopy right now. Hello! Okay, this should sound better. Sorry about that. A showdown, that's what! A battle of wits! A battle of words! Dare I let him explain any further what he thinks this upcoming battle will entail? Tell. Detective Gumshoe, if you've quite finished leaking my professional strategies to the press. Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Thanks a bunch, you big old grouch! As if it would have done any harm!
I can understand why whoever wore the raincoat would be of interest to you. But you have no proof that this person is injured as you claim. My left arm may be injured, but I can still use my right. When it started raining, I simply opened my umbrella. No raincoat required. So you contend that you were not wearing a raincoat, is that correct? It is. And is that so strange? Not everyone wears one after all. I happen to prefer an umbrella.
Team Raincoat over here, they're perfect for when a girl really needs to move. Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, shine, it's my trusty parka every time.
Not exactly the line of inquiry I was hoping to pursue. So you see, I am not your would-be killer. I am not the killer. And I'm not in the habit of making baseless accusations, Mr. Doe. Please, I'm just a simple ice cream oh. Well, that's not suspicious at all. Forgive me. My wound seems to have begun bleeding again in all the excitement. The owner of the raincoat is definitely our assassin. And said owner also has an injured left arm. I'm on to you, Mr. Doe. It's only a matter of time. You seem like a careful man, Mr. Doe, but not quite careful enough. After all, you left something behind, something of vital importance. Oh wait, I have this music. Wait. Original first. We're saving that new stuff for later. I'm afraid you must have me confused with somebody else. The coat does not belong to me. Or do you claim to have some kind of proof to support your accusation? Your arm isn't troubling you too much, I hope. Your wound seems to be bleeding again. I'll survive, although I can't pretend it's not something of an inconvenience. You have my deepest sympathies. Because if it wasn't bleeding quite so badly, you could have perhaps made a clean getaway. What exactly are you insinuating? As we have already established, whoever wore the raincoat is injured. And now I can prove that person was you. With this decisive piece of evidence. You see, Mr. Doe, there's a small amount of blood on the inside of this raincoat. Blood that belongs to our assassin. Attempted murder of a foreign leader? Causing a diplomatic incident? They'll throw the book at you! You can give us a silent treatment all you like, but we don't need you to talk. A simple blood test will give us the answer we require. All it takes is for us to compare the blood on your bandages with the one on the coat, and that will be that. We have the evidence. Why don't you make it easy on all of us and come clean? Admit that you were the one who attempted to assassinate the president of Jiangfa. I am not your assassin. You're stubborn, I'll give you that. But if this were a game of chess, you would already be in checkmate. Now do the honorable thing and admit defeat. He doesn't look like a man with no moves left to play. Very well. You have me. I'll admit it. I was wearing the raincoat. He confessed! Say the word and I'll slap the cuffs on him right now! But I did not shoot at the president. What? Mr. Edgeworth, the only thing you have proven is that I was wearing a particular raincoat. And as far as I'm aware, that is not a crime. I am no assassin. I am a simple ice cream seller. One who happened to be wearing a red raincoat while watching the president speak. I was as surprised as anyone when his bodyguard sprang into action and the shots rang out. That's when the spectators panicked and started running and screaming for their lives. Now, are you finally satisfied that I am telling the truth?
As if! Your story stinks! You don't scare me! The evidence is on our side, you know! Look! It's right there, plain as day! The assassin! And they're wearing a red raincoat!
Intriguing. but that is not me.
Oh, come on!
Tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, do you really think I was the only one in the entire park wearing a red raincoat today? I do, actually. But then why? Why does he seem so sure of himself?
Hold it!
So you saw the bodyguards move before you heard the gunshots? Yes. If I recall correctly, they moved first. At least, the one on the left did. You're rather observant, Mr. Doe. I am blessed with keen eyes. They may look close, but trust me. The names of the bodyguards were written in the top left corner of the security plan. And the one on the left was Rook. That's correct. Bastian Rook, I believe. Wow. The name. Very on the nose there. I expect he noticed the light from a laser sight. The man is no amateur. Mr. Doe knows a little too much about the business of being a bodyguard for my liking, King. I'd say our friend here is no amateur either. I'd like you to append what you just said to your testimony, if you don't mind. As you wish. The bodyguard on the left, Bastian Rook, was it? Was especially quick to respond. As I suspected, you are more than what you claim to be, Mr. Doe. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, then tell me how a simple ice cream seller knows one of the presidential bodyguard's names. What? You jest, surely. You were the one who spoke their names aloud. Rook and Knight, was it?
Objection!
We only know those names thanks to the security plan. But look closely. Only their surnames appear. Yet we all clearly heard you say the name Bastian Rook. How did you come to possess such information? Information we ourselves didn't have. Seems pretty darn suspicious to me. Well, how did you know? Explain yourself. It was merely a slip of the tongue.
Another lie! He is the assassin, just like we said!
Come on now, miss. It's a little soon to be jumping to such conclusions. I did know their names, yes, and the reason for that is... Well, I know Mr. Rook. He and I are acquainted. What? We have something of a connection, and his is a name I could never forget. You think we're stupid, pal? Stop lying! I am not lying. I am, as I have always been, a simple ice cream seller. And an acquaintance of Bastian Rook. Yes.
Objection!
And I suppose Mr. Rook will confirm that. It should be easy enough for him to remember his good friend, the slippery ice cream seller, correct? Please, you are more than welcome to ask him. Although I think that might be difficult right now. I would imagine he's rather busy ensuring the president's safety. But suppose you are able to speak with him, and he does deny that he and I are acquainted. How will that help you prove I was the shooter?
Objection!
If you weren't the shooter, why take off your raincoat? Because it was no longer raining. In fact, it had grown quite warm. Far better to let my room breathe, no? Or would you rather I had let it fester? Is he actually going to worm his way out of this? Yes.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Hurry up and arrest the man! He's clearly guilty. If I were you, he'd be in jail already.
You might be willing to arrest a man without sufficient proof, but I am not.
No! Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something you can do. Shocking scenes here as the culprit seems all but certain to escape justice.
It seems the court of public opinion has spoken. Very well. As I will clearly be viewed with suspicion no matter what I say, I might as well share what I know. What you know? What is angle here? What's this angle here? I saw them. I saw another person with a red hood. What? Are you kidding? It's the person you captured in your photograph. I first noticed them just before the president's speech began. It was still raining then. Their outfit was the same color as my own, which is what drew my attention. As did the laser beam that was aimed directly at the president's head. He's claiming there was another red-hooded person. Preposterous! I knew that if anyone saw me dressed similarly to this individual, I could fall under suspicion myself. And so, naturally, I removed my raincoat.
Objection!
So not only did you see the assassin, but they were wearing exactly the same thing as you. How very convenient. I had thought you might find it far-fetched, hence my not mentioning it until now. I know you law enforcement people are very skeptical types. You would never have believed me. Especially not if I had said that the shooter was standing right next to a certain prosecutor. Well, I know you don't mean me. I wasn't even summoned until after the shooting. No, not you, Mr. Edgeworth. Your colleague over there.
Huh? Me?
Yes, the photograph will prove it, I'm sure. You see, right there in front of the person with the red hood.
That's me, yes, but what exactly are you saying?
What's his endgame here? As I mentioned, I have been following your investigation with some interest, Mr. Edgeworth. And while pondering the details, I noticed something strange. Strange? What exactly? Come now, a man of your talents should be more than capable of spotting a contradiction such as this. I'm afraid I don't follow.
The picture shows the chief prosecutor, Mr. Payne, and the shooter. But there's nothing weird about that, is there?
Think carefully. The picture was taken right in the middle of the president's speech. One of the other pieces of evidence you've gathered is inconsistent with what we've seen here. What is Mr. Doe talking about? Which piece of evidence is inconsistent with what's in this picture?
Take that!
Of course! The tape, it contradicts the photograph. Graph. So you have noticed at last.
What's he going on about, Mr. Edgeworth?
Someone's missing. Someone who should be here.
Huh? But who?
Who indeed? The person who is missing from this photograph is...
Take that!
Huh?
Miss Lloyd? Hold up, look at her hood. Wow, look at the color of the inside of her hood. What's that?
How do you figure that?
Mr. Payne's voice can clearly be heard on Miss Lloyd's tape, considering that he was conducting a private conversation with the chief prosecutor. Who was it at the time? Wait, hold up. It's just some random old dude, okay.
Oh, there was these two old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time.
She must have been very close indeed to capture it on tape.
You're right, but she's not in the picture.
Precisely. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you still believe that you have been hounding the right person? Miss Lloyd, would you mind answering a few questions?
Whoa, y'all are fixing to put me under the microscope now? All right, sure, knock yourselves out. I got nothing to hide. It ain't like I was standing still the whole time. No, I was running all over, roving reporter style, and that was a big old crowd. Yes, the picture must have been taken while I was in one spot, and the tape from when I was in another. So quit giving me the evil eye. Ain't nothing but a misunderstanding.
There's no doubt about the voices on the tape. That was Mr. Payne and the chief prosecutor. I'm certain of it.
Miss Tabby wouldn't lie to us. I know. Tabby wouldn't lie to us. I know she wouldn't. But if she did, that would mean
that she's our perp!
Well, y'all quit messing with me. As if I could have done a thing like that. Little old me.
I might be inclined to believe you if your testimony didn't contain a glaring inconsistency.
It does? I thought it was pretty good.
Seems like I have no choice but to present her with the evidence and expose the contradiction. Miss Lloyd, it's imperative for a reporter not to lie, wouldn't you say?
You're dang right it is, and I don't lie!
And yet, the photograph and the recording were definitely taken at the same time.
What? You can't prove that!
Oh, but I can. The evidence is right here in these pictures. This one in particular shows something that lines up precisely with when you were making your recording. What part of the picture indicates it must have been taken at the same time as Miss Lloyd's recording? It's the same idea, right? Oh, yeah, right. Oh no, it's a different idea. This one.
Take that!
See here? The president has his fist raised.
And? What about it?
Would you be so kind as to play us the tape again?
No. See, it ain't that simple.
What if I were to tell you that you don't have a choice?
You don't make it easy, do you, Ruffles?
Remember, we are concerned with the moment the president raised his fist. No criminal organization, no matter how big, is above the law.
The president throws his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever pitch.
There! That's the moment right there! Correct. We've now confirmed when it occurred in the recording.
Which means Tabby should be in the picture too.
And she is. Right there for all to see. For Miss Lloyd is in fact the person with the red hood.
What?
So you're a shooter, huh?
No, I don't even own a jacket like that.
That's right. From everything we know, the owner of the red raincoat is... We have already proven that the raincoat belongs to Mr. Doe. You, Miss Lloyd, were wearing something else. Something that also happened to have a red hood. So there were two people with red hoods all along! Indeed. Mr. Doe's last statement was true.
Wait, but we only found one raincoat. Where's the other one?
Our ice cream seller never mentioned a raincoat, only a red hood. So tell us about your jacket again, Miss Lloyd.
Huh? This old thing? Well, the best thing about it, like I said, is if you get mud and such on it, it's reversible, see? So you just turn it inside out and...
Just as I thought.
The inside of her hood, it's red!
That's right. And when the incident occurred, that's the side of the hood that was visible. What's going on here? What were you really up to, huh, pal?
Wait, I never even wore it that way around.
Perhaps if you would allow us to examine it, we could confirm that for ourselves.
And y'all gonna confirm that how exactly?
It was raining right up until the president's speech, correct? That much has been established already. Hey, Corn Dog, how you doing? Welcome.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god, we are back? Well, hold on, hold on, something stuck in my throat. Wait, hold up, I'll be right back. The light's kind of hurting my eyes. Hold up. Let me readjust the light real quick. Give me a moment.
Give me a moment. Uno momento.
B1H9. What? What are you talking about, bro? What are you going on about? Hold up. Ay. I'm back! Okay, hold up. Give me a moment.
Uno momento, por favor.
What is this B1H9 you're talking about? You're not going to elaborate on that? Okay, okay.
Oh man, allergy season's hitting hard, but we're gonna finish case 1, goddammit. I promise you that.
Wait, my controller's stuck with the wiring. Hold up.
Fuck you, corn dog. And as you yourself said.
Heck, I don't use neither. Come rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it's my trusty parka every time.
If you haven't reversed your parka since the rain, then the inside should be dry.
Wait a sec now. I got this big old backpack on, see, so I can't take off my jacket. Yeah. Maybe I can show y'all some other time. Yeah.
You think an excuse that weak is gonna wash with Mr. Edgeworth? Well, what are you waiting for? If you're innocent, take it off and show us!
It wasn't me, I swear. I never shot the danged president. I could never.
If that's true, Miss Lloyd, then your best option is to cooperate and tell us the truth. Is there a particular reason why you chose to wear a parka with a red hood here today?
Sorry, Ruffles. There's something I never told you. Something I couldn't. But I'll come clean, I promise. Just go easy on me now, you hear?
Hold it! Whoa. Who said that?
Hold your horses. It's a little too soon for the end game. That goes for you too, Mr. Prosecutor. You lost this the one moment you made your opening move. You lost this one the moment you made your opening move.
That's one of the men from case photograph.
Guess I'd better introduce...
Corn dog, we'll get it when we get it, okay? After Evo. Or after Hitmaster rank in Street Fighter 6. The name's Bronco Knight. I'm the president's personal bodyguard. And second in command of the security detail. Point that thing somewhere else, pal. What the heck's wrong with you? Sorry, can't help myself. It's just too much fun being this good. You're not a member of law enforcement, so how did you get a gun? This old girl's on loan from Jiangfa, temporarily issued to us presidential bodyguards. Anyway, never mind that. I got 2 tidbits of news for you. You want the good or the bad first? Choice is yours. I'm indifferent, whichever you prefer. Really? You're giving up the first move advantage just like that? Whatever, your loss. Guess I'll push out the first pawn then. So you play a little chess, I take it? Ah, fellow fan are you, Mr. Retsuit? The name's Edgeworth, and you could say I dabble. Duly noted, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright, I'll start with the good news. The president's okay. Didn't suffer so much as a scratch. You didn't? That's a relief. Particularly for the young lady here, that means there's no longer a murder charge on the table.
That is good news. Huh, Tabby? Yeah, because I never...
Now for the bad news. The only reason the president's alive is because we bodyguards did our job. One of us did anyhow. Our boss. Put himself in the line of fire. You're referring to your colleague, Mr. Rook. Yeah, it's game over for him. No way! Rook is dead. A genuine loss.
So, you're saying that Tabby...
Yeah, your friend here killed my colleague, my brother in arms.
Oh, heck no! I didn't do it. I didn't kill anybody. I could never.
I'd shut my mouth if I were you, murderer. Sure, we did what we had to do. Sacrificed one of our pieces to protect the king. But to lose someone like him during a castling, it's a real shame. Castling? What's that even mean? It's a chess term. Very simplistically speaking, it's a move where a rook switches place with the king. Then why didn't he just say so? Mr. Knight, was it? Yeah? What? We'll need to see the victim's body right away. And if possible, I'd like to ask the president a few questions. Sorry, no can do. And why not? That's the third piece of news, and it's the piece you're gonna like the least. I thought you said there were only two.
Actually, you can't castle when your king is in danger.
Got Mr. Chessbert here. The National Police Force of Jiangfa will be handling things from here. What? You better be kidding, pal! This investigation was assigned to us. We're not about to hand it over. You're the Edgeworth, right? The one who solved the Yadagrasu case? The president mentioned you. I'm honored to have warranted his attention. Makes sense that the chief prosecutor would assign this one to you. Wait, did the chief assign me to appease the president? Didn't? But that was a mistake. A big one. He should have given the case to somebody with a spine. You're free to take it up with the President Wang. If you enjoy diplomatic incidents, that is. Ugh! You're coming with me. We'll continue this on the presidential plane.
No, I never did nothing. I swear.
We can do this the hard way if you like. But in Jiangfa, justice is served one way or the other.
Ruffles! Come on, you gotta help me out here. Please.
Miss Lloyd. She was the one in the red hood. There's no denying that, no. But I can't help feeling we still don't know the whole truth behind this case.
What's a Zhengfa? Have you not played Ace Attorney Investigations, Corn Dog? Zhengfa's this other country. It's like based on Hong Kong or Taiwan, whichever one of those. Zhengfa. I'm innocent. You gotta believe me.
Can I really let this happen? Is this really how it ends? The look in her eyes, the crack in her voice as she begs me to help her. This is no act by a criminal. She's genuinely scared. And if I let him take her, we'll never know what really happened.
Bruh.
What? Huh? What the?
Get your filthy hands off!
Oh, quite now. Is that really any way to greet me? Your neck has barely begun to heal and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. What? It's you! Ah, so you do remember. What do you think you're doing, pal? Put the knife down and give it up! You got some nerve pulling a stunt like this in front of a bunch of police officers! Don't even think about it! You don't stand a chance against this guy!
Who are you, really? Mr. Doe?
Let's just say that I'm no simple ice cream seller. Wow! Consider me shocked! Color me surprised! No way! Yes, it was I, Alfred, all along. My machinations remain undetected, for I'm a master of disguise. Guy's a pro! A hitman! His name's Shelly DeKiller! DeKiller? There's not a legal professional in the country who doesn't know that name. An assassin capable of taking down any target, any place, any time. This isn't the first time our paths have crossed. It's been too long, Mr. Edgeworth. But of course, this is the first time we've met face to face. You're the assassin we've been looking for! In a sense, yes. A certain someone did indeed hire me to carry out a contract. And that contract did indeed specify that I was to assassinate President Wang. I swear I've seen his picture in one of my old files before, but... how could I have been so careless? My bandage proved useful for bringing a knife into the park undetected, but I miscalculated in certain other regards. He didn't bring a gun. Now, shall we play a little game, Mr. Knight? I know how fond you are of such diversions. The stakes must be high in order for it to be fun, of course. Shall we wager, say, your life? What do you want from me? I would like for you to allow Mr. Edgeworth to remain in charge of the case. He what? What are you up to, killer? I would simply like our mutual friend to see things through to their conclusion.
Huh? But why?
Bastion Rook was a man of great skill, one with whom I felt a certain connection. It is only right that the truth behind his death be brought to light. With Mr. Rook's departure, the case is now yours to investigate. Is it not, Mr. Knight? I'm simply asking you to transfer that authority to Mr. Edgeworth. It's not something worth losing your life over, surely? Just using the investigation as an excuse to get close to the president! Am I really? I suppose it is true that in order for the investigation to proceed, we will need to enter the presidential plane. You think I'm gonna let you near him? I'm his chief bodyguard! Are you? And here I thought you were only second in command. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one! I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes.
You. Of course I do! I'm the leader now! Me!
If that is indeed the case, then I would ask that you make a choice worthy of a leader. Will you needlessly throw your life away, or will you allow the investigation to continue?
Ugh.
Is he really doing this to gain access to the president? Does he even need to? What is he plotting?
Man, just think how much the people tuning in late tonight are missing out. There's gonna be a lot of explaining to do.
You have no objections, I trust, Mr. Edgeworth. Come, let us continue the investigation.
What do we do, sir?
It would seem we have little choice but to do as we're told. That said, listen, detective, and listen well. I'll buy some time as I investigate. Meanwhile, you gather the other officers. Have them surround the plane and make absolutely certain that there's no way he can escape.
Yes, sir! You got it! Oh, I see you having it playing in the background. Interesting.
With the death of Bastion Rook and the revelation that Shelley the Killer was in our midst, the case had taken a turn we could have never predicted. Mr. Knight ordered that door to the presidential plane be opened, and the emergency personnel attending to Mr. Rook's body were asked to leave. With the scene cleared, we stepped cautiously aboard. No president in sight. Now, where could he be? Who knows? Ah, so he's hiding behind the bulkhead door over there, is he? As courageous in the face of danger as ever.
Huh! Sorry to disappoint,
But, did you seriously expect him to be standing here waiting to meet an assassin? As we have already established, my interest lies only in the successful conclusion of this investigation.
hold on, let me pull up the guide.
Now, Mr. Edgeworth, if you'll be so kind as to examine the body. All right. My only option right now is to play along. Oh. The rest is up to you, Detective Gumshoe. Shoo. So the attempted assassination of the president has become the murder of a bodyguard.
You don't think you could use a little help there, Mr. Edgeworth?
Not that I need it, but yes.
That's what I thought. There's nothing else for it. Kay Faraday, great thief extraordinaire, will just have to take it from here.
Oh, really? You mean you're going to solve the case for me?
Nope,
I thought not.
but I will provide vital assistance. Now let's get to scouring this crime scene from top to bottom.
It will take Detective Gumshoe a while to assemble a backup. So I'll need to draw this part of the investigation out for as long as possible.
F in the chat for our boy Rook. Look at that epic mustache and epic haircut.
The bullet seems to have entered just under his armpit and went clean through his body. He was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover.
Like it was on purpose or something, huh?
The cause of death would appear to be loss of blood. Attempts were made to stanch it, but to no avail.
The medics must have been brought in to try and save him.
Sadly, it was too little too late. It's a bulletproof attache case. Bodyguards use them to shield their clients from gunfire. There was some encased photograph too. Looks like Rook and Knight each had one.
Oh hey! That's the photo I snatched!
You can hardly steal a photo at a public event, Kay. Oh, sorry.
But I'm snatching up a moment in time with every picture I take, you know?
I think it's not just your new favorite word.
Maybe.
So the victim was also carrying a revolver.
It looks like he was trying to use it.
He probably drew it on instinct when he felt threatened. We should check to see if he managed to fire any rounds off. All there. And no other signs of the weapon having been used. Was this the one on loan from Zhangfa too? Yep, sure was. We're always issued with the same model gun. The two guns are exactly the same. Meaning it's likely that the one we found is also from Zhangfa.
The bodyguards all got their guns from the Zhangfa authorities, right?
Yes.
Are they, like, super rare or anything?
No, I don't believe so. This model isn't exactly easy to come by in this country, but it's certainly not impossible either.
Boo! And here thought they might be valuable treasures!
Yes, it is something of a shame. Zhangfa's a nation, bro. Zhangfa's a country.
Whoa! I just mentioned treasures and you actually responded for once.
I only mean to point out that if the guns were rare, it would be much easier to trace them. Which would have made them treasures of the evidence variety, I suppose.
Ha! See? Everything's a treasure hunt one way or another, including this investigation.
You could say that.
All right then, it's treasure hunting time. On with the investigation.
She certainly seems a lot more enthusiastic all of a sudden. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
That looks heavy. So this is what a president wears, huh? Must be made of something super special.
Yes, to protect him from bullets.
What? So it's not just for show?
Of course not. This is a bulletproof vest.
Oh, so that's what one of those looks like. Why didn't you just say so? Now I feel silly.
Hold up, water break. Bro, how does she not know? Yeah, seriously. What a stupid kid. Is she stupid? Huh. Documents of some kind.
We could always steal a glance.
Another security plan.
Oh yeah, like the one from the trash can.
Precisely. But wait, something feels off. two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point?
Huh? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we made some last-minute changes yesterday. President's orders. Why the urgency? Because of what happened the day before. The killer here tried to take him down. He infiltrated security detail, posed as one of us. Rook figured it out first, but not before the guy got within striking distance of the president. Oh, look at him. Wow! If our leader hadn't stepped in just then, we'd all have been out of a job. But he made it, and our friend here wound up with a seriously twisted arm. Rook put a bullet in it for good measure, too. Damn, bruh. Rook was a badass.
And where were you while this was happening?
You were the first one I overpowered, were you not?
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Shut up, kid! Now I get it. Your neck has barely begun to heal, and you've already forgotten who I am. I'm disappointed. It's you! Busted up my neck so bad, I can't even look to my right. I was somewhat astonished to have sustained an injury at all. A testament to Mr. Rook's skill. He was truly a master of his craft. Unlike a certain other someone I could mention. I'm just as good as he ever was. You were a pawn to his queen, my young friend. What the heck do you know? So that's why you remembered Mr. Rook's name. You admired his skills as a bodyguard. Indeed. While I was serving on a team, I learned the names of all the operatives. But his in particular stayed with me. It joined the very short list of those who have ever successfully wounded me. So that's the connection he was talking about. And that's why we changed up the security plan. Had to be sure there weren't any more assassins in the ranks. The president didn't want anybody on stage he didn't trust, and he only trusts two people. Me and Rook. How does that explain your change of position?
Oh yeah, he switched over to the right-hand side.
I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. It's a bank of monitors displaying camera feeds from in and around the plane. Hold up, I'm taking a quick break, little intermission. I'm feeling a bit light. I think doing an Edgeworth voice is very taxing. Huh. Give me a moment. Okay, BRB. Okay, we are back. What on earth is this? Oh, that? It's the president's favorite plushie. It's a memento of something. Anyway, don't touch. But if that's the case, then why has it been
Left up there like nobody cares about it? Yeah, that is pretty weird.
It certainly wouldn't be the first place I would think to display a beloved item. Hmm? Wait, are those shards of glass underneath it? I thought something seemed strange about this cubbyhole, but now I'm sure of it. There was almost certainly another monitor here. Is that monkey ball? Hey, Peter. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Ah, okay. Let's do this. Two bullets were fired in total. Two bullets were fired in total. We now know this because two shots were heard. One traveled through the flag and into the balloon, the other took Mr. Rook's life. Wait, what are you, huh? What are you guys talking about?
There's a bullet in the president's vest too, right? How is that possible?
How indeed. The numbers don't add up. However, there's one possible explanation.
There is?
After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest. In other words, two of our bullets were in fact one.
No way!
He's right. If the president hadn't been wearing that vest, things could have been a lot worse. And he wasn't injured at all by the impact. Even when obstructed by a vest, a bullet can inflict serious damage. Sure, I've known guys who've got broken bones that way. But the president's okay. He's made of strong stuff.
Sounds like he didn't even need a vest.
Let's not get carried away here. Yeah. I want that bullet's ballistic markings analyzed.
Remind me what those are again?
Guns leave a unique pattern of grooves on every bullet they fire. By examining these grooves, we can use them to identify which gun it came from. Think of them as fingerprints of a sort.
You can tell all that from a bullet? Then what are we waiting for? Analyze away!
Might be easier said than done. That bullet hit solid armor. The impact will have completely flattened it. You'll be lucky if there's anything left for forensics to find. Bro, have you not played this game? Look, you're gonna have to, like, go back. I don't want to explain. A lot happened that you missed. Like, a lot has happened. I can try to sum it up. Basically, this Knight wanted to take over the investigation, and Knight was kind of being suspicious about it. This guy, the killer, wants Miles Edgeworth to continue it. Wants the investigative power to be given to Edgeworth because he has a vested interest. It's personal for him. But yeah, probably better idea to rewind. That's quite enough investigating for now. Ugh. What is taking so long, Detective Gumshoe? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, have you solved the case? No, not yet. Is that so? Then perhaps interviewing another key witness might help you to do so. Another witness? Who?
You don't mean...
The most important witness of all. The man on the other side of that door. He really intends to have me question the president. And now, if you would be so kind as to summon him, Mr. Edgeworth.
Stop right there, the killer! You're nuts if you think I'd let him anywhere near you.
Well, Mr. President, I'm sure you're watching us through your security feed, aren't you? In which case, I politely request that you show yourself. That is, if you value your bodyguard's life. Well then, if nothing else, we now know what kind of a man you really are.
Mr. President! Stop! You can't do this! Let's all just calm down, alright?
Come on, detective. Where the blazes are you? The lights! What's happening? Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth. I would advise you to stay very still. It seems I will not be granted my audience with the president after all. Even with Mr. Knight's life as my bargaining chip.
No! Stop! Ah! Ah!
Hey! You won't get away with this, the killer! I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. Where are you? Where did you go? I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry, my voice is getting a bit hoarse again. Hold up. I need to take a little break. 5 minutes, intermission.
Oh, after this. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe. Okay, we'll be right back. Give me a moment. And we are back. Hold on, why isn't the thing popping up? There we go. Detective Gumshoe. Wait, where's my controller? Oh, there it is. Sir! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Oh boy. I must have been knocked unconscious. Yes. Sir, you're okay.
Are you alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Never mind me. He didn't hurt you. He didn't hurt you, did he, Kay?
Nah, I'm fine. I only just woke up myself. My head will be sore for a while, but that's about it. So you can stop worrying.
Detective! Did you manage to stop the killer? Well, see. Miss Lloyd came running out of the plane and, she told us he'd flown the coop. We were too late. I'm sorry, sir. The bodyguard over there told us something too. Seems there's an inflatable boat missing from by the window. The killer must have stolen it and rowed himself across the lake. So that's how he got away. He knew about that. What about the cordon around the park? I called everybody back in to stake out the plane, including the guy stationed across the water. No. So he's completely slipped through our fingers. Not the best look for the department, but yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight, you're alive? Yeah. No thanks to that murderer. Oh, that reminds me. I found this lying on the ground next to you, Mr. Edgeworth. A calling card, marked with a seashell. Guess you want to leave a message. The killer usually leaves these next to the bodies of his victims. But you're not dead, sir. But I could have been. Maybe that's the message. I can't stop thinking about his parting words. I have seen enough, and now I know the truth. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Edgeworth. Worth? And now I know the truth. The truth about what? What? Roger that. I'll clear out here, sir. Over. What's going on? That was the president. He's coming out. Now? So he's the president of Zhangfa, Mr. Dijon Wang. And you are? It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. My name's Miles Edgeworth. The honor is all mine, Mr. Edgeworth. I am Dijon Wang. Your efforts on behalf of Zhangfa have not gone unnoticed. You averted something of a crisis. You must be referring to the Yatagarasu case. Thank you, sir. But all I did was solve a few local cases of murder. You are too humble. I have been observing your investigation. You are an impressive operator, Mr. Edgeworth. Even if the killer did get away. That's very kind of you to say. So he was watching through his security feed. Sadly, I must inform you that this is as far as your investigation goes. What do you mean? Hear me, foolish prosecutor, for I shall say this only once. Knight has apprised me of the state of affairs. And from this point forward, the case will be handled by Zhangfa's police force, the finest in the world. Even with the killer out of the picture, they're still looking to get me thrown off the case. What do you think you're doing, pal? Nobody talks to Mr. Edgeworth like that. If it hadn't been for him, the killer would have... Detective! Forgive him, Mr. President, but I must confess to being somewhat confused. I fail to see how or why this case falls within Zhangfa's jurisdiction. You fail to see? Enough, puny prosecutor. You seek explanations from a head of state? I say no. 1,000 times no. I would not explain myself to you. Now hand over the evidence you have gathered and remove yourselves from this plane.
I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth.
This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Hint? Oh no! Why let us come so far only to pull the case out from under us? Now you may leave. Knight, detain the suspect.
Yes, sir. Right away.
To make an attempt on my life, to murder one of my faithful servants, the effrontery, the villainy.
I didn't murder nobody. 'Cause I... Shut your mouth, Miss Journalist.
Answer me this. In a world already lousy with lies, with deception, with sin and iniquity, can we stand by and suffer yet another crime to go unpunished? I say no. 1,000 times no. There can be no forgiveness. There can be no surrender. Why, you ask me, then I will tell you. He's hiding something. I'm certain of it. He's also yapping incessantly. And if I leave now, we'll never know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Mr. Edgeworth, there's gotta be something we can do.
Think, Miles. Remember. How many times have you faced situations like this in the courtroom? You've confronted the lies of witnesses and countered the arguments of other lawyers. Has the critical evidence always been laid at your feet? No. And yet you always got to the truth of the situation in the end. With your greatest weapon of all. Your words. Words. Huh. Now let us analyze the state of play. Be gone, puny prosecutor, or do you dare defy the direct order of a president? He's not going to listen. He clearly means to drown out any objection by the means of pure rhetorical force. When an opponent is on the offensive, the best thing I can do is bide my time and wait for an opening.
Just like in fighting games. Wow!
As he said himself, he's a head of state, a seasoned politician. He won't open himself up to attack easily. I can't let him bully me into submission. I have to stay calm and alert. If I can read his movements and expressions correctly, I may be able to find my moment. Sorry. My first aim should be to find out why he's insisting on Zhang Fa taking over the case. The board is set. Time to make my opening gambit. Could you at least explain to me why I'm off the case? Imbecile! Cease your insolent jabbering. I need not explain myself to you. My reasons are my own, and they are none of your concern. If I want to take this any further, I'll need a clue of some kind. Let me try another tack for now. Please, about the case. Did I give you permission to speak? No! 1,000 times no. I am the leader of Zhang Fa. I have no time for your insolent backchat. I was simply hoping to confirm one basic fact. You say that the investigation will now be assigned to your national police force. I do. Now enough of your pointless questions. Hold up. Sorry about that. I was feeling a yawn there. Good boy. The interior of this plane is a sovereign territory of Zhang Fa. You have no rights here. Is that so? Could it be that our current location itself is significant somehow? How? I should keep that in mind. It could be a useful clue. Perhaps it's time to employ my clue. In the course of our conversation, I've deduced certain facts from your behavior, Mr. President. For example, you seem particularly... Sorry, my nose is like really congested right now. You seem particularly aggressive when discussing our current location. You smarmy, smart aleck. As you said yourself, the presidential plane is the sovereign territory of Xiangfa. And from that, we can infer that you believe the rules of extraterritoriality apply inside here. Is that correct? Enough! Cease your objectionable whining! You can rant and roar all you like, but you won't escape my scrutiny. It was unmistakable. The moment I mentioned extraterritoriality, you became visibly agitated. You think you're clever, don't you? Let me answer your little question. Hold up, I'm feeling a bit weird. Sorry, hold up. It's true. Extraterritoriality applies. Your laws mean nothing here. And why does that matter, you ask? It matters because it means you are powerless. You have neither influence nor authority here. Interesting. So the extraterritoriality issue does have something to do with all of this. Huh. Let's dig a little deeper into the claim that the plane is sovereign territory, shall we? This next move will surely decide the victor. He may be the president, but nobody is untouchable. I just have to find the right angle of attack. You believe that extraterritoriality applies here. But can you prove it? Do you even understand what you are asking? Of course. If I didn't, I wouldn't ask it. Have you no shame calling into question the good word of one such as myself? I have no more time for this. You clearly cannot be saved from your own foolishness. You needn't worry about me. I'm not the one who needs saving. That would be Ms. Lloyd, the one who is being wrongfully accused of this crime. Your chivalry is admirable, but it changes nothing. The right to extraterritoriality cannot be denied. This is Xiangfa! If I want to take this any further, I'll need a clue of some kind. Let me try another tack for now. Surely you see that you have overplayed your hand. Nobody asked for your opinion. You need only obey me, nothing else. You dare tell me how to govern? How to lead? You dare contradict me? On the matter of Miss Lloyd's guilt, yes, I do. No! She is guilty. She is the culprit. There's nothing left to debate. Who else could have fired from outside the plane? There's no other viable suspect. Fascinating. So he's claimed that Miss Lloyd fired at him from outside the plane. This could be a vital clue. Wait, one moment. Let me check something real quick. You believe that I... Okay. Time to deploy my clue. I may not be able to call the extraterritoriality of the presidential plane into doubt. However, according to you, she shot at you from outside the aircraft, correct? In which case, extraterritoriality could not possibly apply in this case. Your assertion is entirely without merit. The detainment of Miss Lloyd cannot be justified. Nah! How could I have bested my male prosecutor? But I am the president! The president! Checkmate. I trust you won't mind if we continue our investigation now, Mr. President? I hereby officially and unreservedly confirm my approval. Consider it the just of the magnanimity and generosity for which my good office is known. Yes, for without noble acts such as these, you unmistakably and irrefutably, for which reason we hereby yappity yap 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 there can be no other outcome. For goals so lofty in our hearts, people of Jiangfa, I swear to you here and now this investigation will continue.
I thought what you said. Okay, you got me.
Mr. Knight, if you would care to return the evidence, take it.
We did it, Mr. Edgeworth!
We sure did. And now the investigation can continue. Whatever. Enjoy your pocket full of pawns. I'll be over here enjoying how you put them into play. You would definitely enjoy my next move. Mr. President, one more favor, if you will be so kind. What is it? Could you please give us your testimony concerning the incident itself? Oh my god. Now you want me to testify? Whoa, whoa! That's your next move? If you want the president to testify, you have to take him to court. All in good time, Mr. Knight. He will get his day in court soon enough. But if a person of interest refuses to cooperate at the investigative stage of the process, they are obliged to provide detailed justification as to their reasons for doing so. That's... What's the matter? Is there something you'd rather we didn't know? Stand down, Knight. I'll do as the prosecutor asks. Thank you for your cooperation. Now listen, and listen well. Where was I when the incident occurred? The stage, of course. Suddenly, Rook and Knight jumped in front of me. Then, bang! A shot rang out and the plain, unblemished balloon of red exploded nearby. Not hesitating for an instant, my bodyguards tried to escort me back to the safety of the plane. And then, the second shot. The bullet went right through Rook and lodged itself into the bulletproof vest I was wearing.
I guess if you look at it in one way, the president's also a victim here.
Yes, the victim of an attempted assassination. Rook was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But that makes it even weirder. Why would the target of a crime try to obstruct the investigation?
My guess is that there's something behind all this that he doesn't want made public. A cover-up, huh? I knew there was more to this case than meets the eye! The President isn't the only one who knows the truth. Isn't that right, Mr. Knight? Time to get to the bottom of this once and for all. This is part where I tell you guys, I could not sleep last night. Like I tried to sleep for a full night. I just couldn't. I couldn't fall asleep. Probably because of the late night stream. Anyways.
Objection!
You see, it was a plain red balloon that burst. But I strongly beg to differ. What? Take a look at this. I think you would agree that it's hardly plain, wouldn't you? No! What? Who is that? Mr. President, meet the Steel Samurai. I would have hoped you might recognize him. Especially if you were hoping to ingratiate yourself with the people of this country.
Yeah, you need to watch the German Ninja too. He's amazing.
So you see, the balloon that was struck by the bullet was anything but plain. It was, in fact, of the Steel Samurai. But the briefing mentioned 2 plain red balloons. And there they are, right on the security plan.
They do look pretty plain, don't they? Just simple round balloons.
Knight, what is the meaning of this? Explain yourself. Yes, Mr. President. It seems the Steel Samurai balloon was borrowed at the last minute, sir. Borrowed? That's what we were told. Guess they only reported the incident to us bodyguards, though. Seems there was a little trouble here on site last night. One of the original balloons burst somehow.
So they swapped it in as an emergency replacement.
Yeah, one of the stall holders happened to have it. From what I hear, he was more than willing to lend it out. A very happy-go-lucky kind of guy, they said. A happy-go-lucky stallholder with a Steel Samurai balloon to spare. Huh. They filled just the balloon part up with air to make it look like the other ornamental balloon. So, while it was a Steel Samurai balloon, it was made to look like a plain red one above water. Is that the long and short of it? Knight, why was I not informed of this? Sorry, sir. We didn't think it was a pressing issue. And indeed, you saw it and knew no different, correct? Yes, I suppose so. Could he really have mistaken the Steel Samurai's... Oh, sorry. Could he have really mistaken the Steel Samurai's pants for a plain red balloon? Still, Mr. President, I struggle to see how you couldn't have noticed something different about the balloon. Of course! Sorry, I can't yell, my throat hurts. What's that outburst for? Now I remember! I could barely see the balloon! You couldn't see it? That's right. The wind was blowing too hard. The flags to the sides of the stage were flapping incessantly and blocking my view. Is that so? Yes, those 2 flags. They were being blown back towards me. There would have been a strong wind... Oh, sorry. There would have been a strong wind blowing right around the time of the incident. Strong enough to blow the flags in such a fashion. But does that conflict in any way with our understanding of the Kings? Oh, sorry. I'll be right back. I need to do something. Sorry, I'll be right back once again. I'm back. Kinda. Sorry, I had to like. So in Japan, they have these lozenges, right? Like these mouth drops, specifically made for like voice stuff, voice-related stuff. So like voice, acting, screaming, singing, all that stuff. Whenever your throat or vocal cords feeling dry or blasted, you put one in your mouth and it'll make things better. Now, in America, they have like drinks for that. I don't know if they have drinks for that in Japan, but yeah, for in my case, you gotta use I mean, the lozenge is easy to find in supermarkets, so I just use that. I'm sure they have other better alternatives out there. But yeah, right now I'm like almost done with that. Just yeah, just give me a moment. Sorry about that. But yeah, it tastes pretty good, at least. Tastes like medicine, but like kind of sweet, on the sweeter side of things. Hold up, let me check something real quick. Okay. Alright, let's see what's happening in the chat right now. Oh, nothing? Okay. Well, quiet night today. Business going a little slow. In any case, yeah, just give me a moment. Give me like a minute for this lozenge to completely dissolve, because apparently I can't like chew it. It will reduce the effect of it. Sorry for this little stream, but again, I promise we'll finish the case tonight, and if that's what it takes, I'll do it. We'll get there. And I guess I can try voicing with this little bit of lozenge left in my mouth. Why not? Okay. Let's get ready to shift right back to gear here. Let me just my wires are all tangled up. Hold up. No, I'm considering getting a standing desk. Oh, hey Nobu. Oh yeah. You're busy tonight. Okay, I get it. It's Saturday night. Maybe that's why no one's showing up. Maybe people are just here to watch the VODs. People voted for Ace Attorney just to watch the VODs, probably. in which case I might provide timestamps later, should I remember to do so. Hold on, let me look into getting a standing desk. Alright, is there such a thing here? Should have gotten this sooner. I feel like a standing desk would be nice. Oh, shit's expensive. Ah, never mind, forget that. Fuck that. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not logging off. No, again, I plan on fishing tonight. But, right now I have like I guess a throat drop in my mouth. A throat drop specifically designed for voice stuff. Because my throat hurts. Maybe because I haven't done these kinds of streams in a long time. At least streams that really do a number on my throat, because voicing Ace Attorney is quite demanding for some reason. Don't buy a standing desk, just don't sit. But I have nothing to put my laptop on, that's the thing. I have nothing to put my computer on. Nothing tall enough. Just don't sit. I have, like, it's like I have a choice. Well, I'm okay, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna see if I can put things somewhere where I can stand and voice and probably breathe better. I'm sure there's a way. Alright, anyways, I'm yapping too much. Let's jump back into it. Oops, wrong window. This window. Nobu, have you played through this case already, or you know what happens? Because you missed a lot. Like, a lot has happened. Shit's kind of crazy. Thank you, Mr. President. Your testimony has revealed yet another contradiction. It
Has?
Yes. A contradiction that could turn this entire case on its head. When I arrived on the scene, the wind had died down and the flags were resting calmly for the most part. What? But if the wind had previously been blowing the flags as the president describes, a certain piece of evidence suddenly takes on a very different meaning. Which piece of evidence contradicts the stated conditions of the stage at the time of the incident? I feel like I don't really need to read that part.
Take that!
Earlier, we deduced that the bullet that struck the steel samurai balloon and the bullet that passed through the flag were one and the same. From these two things, we further deduced the trajectory that the bullet must have taken. And we concluded that the shooter must have fired from the left side of the spectator area. But if the flags were blowing as the president describes, our conclusion becomes quite different.
No way! If the flags were pointing the other direction?
Exactly. Our trajectory changes completely. And if we trace that trajectory back to its source, we can ascertain who really fired that shot.
Wait, but Mr. Edgeworth, that would mean...
Yes, I know. We may not yet understand the reason why, but it can only have been one person who did it. Who does the bullet's new trajectory implicate as the one who fired the shot?
Take that!
The person who fired that shot was none other than you, Mr. Knight. What? The path from the balloon back through the flag leads directly to the spot where you were standing. But the guys want the president's bodyguards. Why the heck would he go around shooting balloons? This is absurd. What exactly are you trying to imply? That Mr. Knight, a man who has saved my life countless times, is my would-be assassin? Seriously, Edgeworth, we've put up with a lot from you. But this? We're President Wang's bodyguards. We're the pieces put on board to protect the king. I'll handle this, Knight. Sorry, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, the wind was indeed blowing quite fiercely around the time of my speech. But the wind can pick up and die away in an instant, can it not? Therefore, I need proof. Proof that it was blowing that hard enough to lift the flags during that crucial moment. The first shot was fired right around the time the president raised his fist. I'll have a piece of evidence that shows just that. Perhaps it can also show us what was happening with the flag then too.
I believe it is, this one?
Wait, what was our...
Take that!
Oh, wrong one. Which one was it? Yeah, I think it's the sound, right? The audio? It's gotta be the audio. You know what? I'm just gonna pull up the guide. Hold on. Let me check the guide. The guide's... Oh, I'm a ding-dong. I'm a ding-dong. I'm a dingus. Your proof is in this picture right here. I didn't look at the guide carefully. My bad. Ooh, this should be good. Which picture? Where? Right here. It's this one, right? Duh. It's like right there. Duh. Wait.
Take that!
Well, do you deny that it clearly shows the flag? No. There we have it. Proof that it was blowing towards you at the moment of the shooting. So that means our pal over there did shoot the balloon.
Making him the assassin?
Mr. Knight is not the assassin. He may have shot the balloon, but the president was on the other side of him entirely. Therefore, he can't have been aiming at his boss. Yeah! Besides, why would I even shoot the balloon? What would be the point? And watch how you answer, or I might aim for something else next. There was a point. I'm sure of it. If I can figure out what it was, perhaps I can finally put this whole conundrum to rest. Rest. Knight definitely shot the balloon. That fact alone changes everything about the case. Why did Knight's assigned position change? I told you, I can't turn my neck to the right. Could only cover the president's left side. Hide. So I wound up moving to the right side of the stage. But is that the only reason? Let us suppose that the plan hadn't changed. that Knight had remained posted on the left. Given that he was unable to turn his head to the right, would he even have been able to shoot the balloon closest to him? Could it be that the security plan was changed for the express purpose of popping one of the balloons? And if we suppose that to be the case, the two plans are different. Was the security detail reorganized at some point? Wait. Yeah. We made some last minute changes yesterday. And why the hell are you making echoes? Oh, sorry. The president's orders. Oh, I'm supposed to be making echoes. Whoops. That's right. The president was the one who ordered the change. There's a change in Japan. If I'm reading things right, the president knew in advance about the balloon shooting. Which means he must have had full knowledge he would be in someone's crosshairs today as well. Well, and if that's true, then everything else that's been bothering me falls neatly into place. How did the shooter get a gun past such heavy security? And why would they even then carry out the shooting wearing such conspicuous items of clothing? Why use a laser sight that would give away their location in an instant? And how did the president suffer no injuries at all, despite a direct hit to the vest? These are the questions that Knight and the president don't want us to consider. There's only one possible reason for Mr. Knight to have fired his gun. To create the illusion of an assassination attempt.
What?
Huh? Idiot. You do understand what you're saying. Oh, I understand all too well. I understand everything now. Most of all, I understand why you were so keen to take this investigation off my hands, Mr. President. You wanted your real plans to remain hidden. How dare you speak to me that way? Is this some sort of sick joke?
Not gonna lie, that lozenge made my throat dry. Hold up.
Oh, it's no joke, I assure you. It is simply the truth, as revealed by the careful application of logic and reasoning, and nothing more. The first shot was fired by Mr. Knight with the specific intention of hitting that balloon. The sound of gunfire and the bursting of the balloon were guaranteed to cause a panic. And then he fired again.
He did?
Yes. He fired 2 bullets, both of which were aimed at the balloon. As for why he did so, it's because the second shot was designed to create the impression that the president had been hit.
So then, what's the deal with the one in the vest?
I'm willing to bet that bullet was planted there long before the shooting ever occurred.
So Mr. Heroic President didn't take a bullet after all.
Hold it! That's not true! I was shot, I tell you! We'll be able to verify that for ourselves once we take a closer look at the bullet. At the very least, we can expect to find traces of Mr. Rook's blood on it, correct? Oh! But you said it yourself! You found the shooter in the photograph! The person with the red hood! I thought I made myself clear. The trajectory points to only one possible shooter, Mr. Knight.
Then where does Tabby fit into all this?
She was simply one part of their plan. In order to place the suspicion elsewhere, they set about creating a fake assassin.
The highly suspicious person with the red hood!
I've yet to ascertain exactly how complicit Miss Lloyd was in the whole scheme. But I can say with some confidence that none of the shots were fired by her. I suspect her only job was to point a laser sight at the president.
That's right!
tasked with turning your jacket inside out the moment the crowd flew into a panic yes. Thus making the mysterious red-hooded shooter disappear in the blink of an eye. Then, when the gun and the security plan were later found in a trash can, it would have all appeared to have been the work of an assassin so skilled they could vanish into thin air. But then the case would have gone cold! Exactly what our friends here were hoping for.
Makes sense now why they wanted you off the case.
Indeed, because the entire affair was a cheap ruse perpetrated by the president himself. Whoa! Whoa! The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Admitted, the entire assassination was a lie, wasn't it? If that stupid chief prosecutor hadn't insisted on assigning you, oh, how could I let this happen?
Objection!
That's enough, Edgeworth. Mr. Knight! Sorry, but I'm speaking with the president right now. Yeah? Well, I'm doing my job as a knight and protecting my king. So go ahead. Keep running your mouth. Perhaps it would be better if we stuck to threatening each other with words?
He wouldn't, would he?
Nah, I don't need this thing to shut you up. Alright, my move. Question. You claim I fired my gun from on stage. How'd you figure I did that in front of a crowd of thousands? An excellent point. Time for my counter move, I suppose. You had a certain something that allowed you to conceal your actions. A certain something, huh? A mighty specific. What did Knight use to hide his actions from the crowd? The attach case?
Take that!
My attach case? Yes. Take a look at Kay's photograph. Your right hand is completely obscured by the case. At the very moment this picture was taken, you were firing your gun. And in such a way that you wouldn't be detected.
Objection!
You don't like to let the facts get in the way of a good theory, do you, Edgeworth? Shame you don't seem to have noticed. Noticed what? That theories are all you have. Conjectures. Nothing more. The flag was billowing in the wind at precisely the right moment. I hid my gun with my attach case. We changed the security plan because I couldn't turn my head. It's all just speculation. Circumstantial evidence, at best. You can't prove any of it. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. But no, that bullet is at the bottom of the lake. You gonna go dredge it up? I hate to say it, but he's right. I don't have anything concrete. I thought not. Maybe now you can shut your mouth.
Hold it!
Miss Lloyd. Of course, she could shed some light on this whole situation. I just need to get her to talk. What's the matter? Something you want to say, Miss Journalist?
Nah, never mind.
That's what I thought. Miss Lloyd! I need you to be brave. If you don't speak up, the truth will be lost forever. You are a journalist after all, are you not?
Dang it! I can't stay quiet any longer!
Hey, you understand what you're doing, right? I think carefully before opening that mouth of yours.
I was so focused on bagging me a scoop, I forgot the most important thing of all. Real journalists don't lie.
Oh, I don't know about that. I mean, I like the nobility of that intention, but
Ain't no dang scoop if it ain't the truth. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I should have showed you this before.
what is it?
It's a laser pointer used on the president. That's all I done. I never shot nobody.
You stupid! I thought I told you. You squeal and you go down as an accomplice.
It was him. He told me to do it. I was at Young Falls Embassy sniffing out a story like I told you. This was 3 days back. He comes out of me out the blue. Just starts talking. Help me out and I'll get you an exclusive access to the president. That kind of stuff.
What about the gun in the trash can?
That I don't know nothing about. I swear. All he told me was to wear a jacket with a red hood and a point that they were pointing at the president. I never thought for a minute it'd blow up in my face so bad. I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Thank you, Miss Lloyd. I'd like you to testify to that effect when this goes to trial. It ought to go a long way towards proving that the assassination was a sham. What's wrong with you people? Don't any of you know what's good for you? My sympathies, Mr. Knight. Had you successfully removed me from this case as you intended, perhaps then you would have kept your pawn quiet. That's screenshot worthy. That is glorious.
So let me get this straight. You told Tabby, if you let slip about our fake assassination plot, we'll have you convicted for murder? Or something like that?
Vol the dirty! I said no such thing.
Hold it!
Oh, hold it. President Wang.
Give it up, Knight. It's time we came clean. It's our only choice.
So, Mr. President, you admit it. You admit that there was a plot to fake an assassination attempt.
I do. I'm sorry.
But why? Why do something like that?
My popularity has been on the wane back home. I thought surviving an attempt on my life might give me the boost I needed. I know what we did was wrong. So yes, it was all lies. All of it.
And the bullet in the vest?
It was planted ahead of time. I wasn't hit by anything today.
But then, what was up with the killer?
Our plan got out somehow. And then he just appeared, hell-bent on turning our fake assassination into a real one.
Hence the red raincoat, I suppose. He'd hoped to get in close enough as the fake assassin to finish the job.
There is one thing I don't understand, though.
Oh? And what would that be?
Why did Rook have to die? If the whole thing was fake, how did he wind up getting killed for real?
That's true. And therein lies the real question. Then.
He was a fine bodyguard. The best, in fact. He may not have been a native of Shangfa, but he was someone I could truly trust.
Mr. Rook must have really been something to gain the trust of someone who would hide from his own shadow.
Sounds like he was as trustworthy to the president as I am to you, huh, sir? I believe that's for me to say, detective, not you. Mr. Rook must have known about the plan too then, correct?
He wasn't aware of any specific details, so no, not really.
I tried to involve him, but he refused. And you would have done well to listen to him. Huh. This is a tragedy. The life of a good man has been wasted. What was so great about him anyway? What's gotten into him? He was just another piece on the board, there to protect you. Nothing more.
Mr. Knight, how could you?
Who was it that actually went along with your plan, huh, Mr. President? While that pious coward backed down when you needed him to step up the most.
I like your support too, of course, but...
Look, I'm your chief bodyguard now. That's all that matters. And now that spineless fool Rook is gone, things are gonna change around here. Thanks to me, genius strategist, grandmaster, rightful leader of this team.
We are all well aware of your ambitions, Knight. But doesn't this seem a little imprudent to you?
Why? My plan this time was perfect, as they always are, and as they always will be. That's quite a statement, especially considering that your perfect plan was an abject failure. Yeah, no thanks to you and that buffoon Rook. And how exactly was it Mr. Rook's fault? If he hadn't died, the killer would have never come after me, and I wouldn't have had to let you on this plane.
Please, Mr. Knight, you mustn't talk like that.
Bro, this guy's a dick. Bro died. Give him some slack. Jesus Christ, what did he do to you? Fucking jealous ass motherfucker. Fine. The guy died protecting you, Mr. President. I'm sure that's just what he always wanted. But did he die protecting the president?
Wait, I thought the whole assassination thing was fake.
Ah, come on. Do I have to say everything twice? We planned a fake assassination, but somebody else came along and tried to make it real. 2 shots were fired, remember? Like you said, Edgeworth, one of them was the bullet I shot through that balloon. But the second, that wasn't me. Oh, really? Then who did fire it? The real assassin, but not the killer. His plan was to come after the president with a knife. No, the most likely suspect here is the piece cowering quietly in the corner. Our lily white queen over there.
What? Oh,
Miss Lloyd?
get with this. I'm not your dang assassin.
But is that really true? I, for one, don't believe it. The gun in the trash can. It can only belong to you. As soon as I shot that balloon, I rushed over to help Rook escort the president back into the plane. I left Rook there in this room while I secured the president in the safe room. When I came back out, Rook was lying there on the ground. Ms. Journalist must have shot Rook while we were escorting the president off stage. That single killer shot was fired by the gun you found in the trash can. So you don't actually know when the victim was struck by the bullet, do you? The knight doesn't protect the Rook, Edgeworth. He protects the king.
You want to translate?
He means that his only concern was protecting the president. Lose the king and you lose the game. Isn't that the first rule of chess? But to win in which a key piece is sacrificed is a hollow victory indeed. It doesn't matter, it's still a victory. I kept the president safe. I win. Well, it's a bit early to be calling a little match in any case, for this is where our battle really begins.
Objection!
So you contend that it was you who shot the balloon, and Miss Lloyd who shot Mr. Rook. Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. While what you've proposed would indeed match up with the total number of shots heard, the gun from the trash can itself had also been fired twice. Now, why would the supposed number of shots heard from this gun differ from the number of spent rounds? It's simple. Because it was planted. Planted by the real perpetrator of the crime.
Somebody faked the evidence?
Yes, and if you think about it, the reason for doing so is obvious. Hey Lois, good to see you, buddy. A bit late?
A lot, and I mean a lot, has happened. You might want to watch the VOD. Things got really interesting.
To ensure that whoever found the gun would conclude that the shooter had been in the spectator area. And in order to do that, they had to make it seem as if both shots had come from this one weapon.
Oh, one warning about the VODs. There's a lot of pauses I had because I had like certain issues. I'll provide timestamps later after the stream if I remember to do so. Unless you're okay with skipping just a few minutes or so. I get it. So that's why I got the 2 spent rounds, huh?
Precisely. As we have already proven, the bullet that burst the balloon came from a different weapon. Which makes it entirely possible that the bullet which killed Mr. Rook didn't come from this gun either. Nice work, Edgeworth. That's some high-grade sleuthing. But why don't you get to the point? You've come this far. Spit it out. Oh, I intend to, don't worry. The person who really shot Mr. Rook was...
Take that!
You, Mr. Knight! You're the one who murdered Mr. Rook! Oh, finally got up the courage to say it, huh? On Twitter? Oh god. Twitter. Ugh! Makes me sick to my stomach.
Surely not. Surely you wouldn't have.
It wasn't only the killer who tried to take advantage of this fake murder plot. You killed Mr. Rook, hoping that he would look like an accidental victim of the bungled assassination. But the president locked away in the safe room, and the door of the airplane tightly closed. It was just you and Mr. Rook, alone, together. And that was when the third bullet was fired, right into your colleague's body. After the chat for Rook, he was a real one.
Objection!
I mean, just look at that mustache. Wait, you really gonna claim there's a third one now? You just said only 2 gunshots were heard. Wanna tell me how that works?
Objection!
Airplane cabins are practically soundproof, Mr. Knight. If you close the door, nothing can be heard from the outside. Not even gunfire.
Wasn't the president right next door?
Very true. Which means he may have heard the shot himself. Well, Mr. President?
I didn't hear anything.
But you can observe this room through your security feed, can you not?
The camera in this room isn't normally on. I have to manually switch it on when I enter the safe room.
And that's what you did this time too, right?
Well, that is...
What's gotten into him? Mr. President, this is vitally important.
Please, President Wang.
Fine! I was busy hiding under the bed, covering my ears.
What? Even though you knew the whole thing wasn't real?
Yes, because I hate the sound of guns. Just the slightest hint of that awful noise and... oh, it's just too much.
What a pussy.
Oof. That there's sadder than a pot of overcooked crawfish.
Mr. Knight, you saw that President Wang was cowering beneath the bed. Ohio gozaimasu, Mr. Riddler. I'm gonna say the same thing I said again. You missed a lot. So unless you've already played through this, I suggest you watch the VOD at some point. I might have to provide timestamps because there were a lot of pauses because stuff came up health-wise. And what's more, you knew from the monitor bank that the security camera from this room hadn't been switched on. Which means you knew that the circumstances were perfect for you to fire the third shot straight at Mr. Rook. Knight, how could you? Would you really have betrayed my trust so horribly? You think I killed the old halfwit? You don't trust me much, huh? This is the thanks I give for putting my life on the line for you day after day. I want to believe you, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. What is there to doubt here? What, you don't believe that the girl over there could have done it? No, because this gun isn't the murder weapon. We know this from the number of bullets fired. Yeah? Well, how do you know there wasn't a spent bullet from the start? What? Someone could have fired a bullet from the gun yesterday, or the day before. Then today, another bullet. The bullet that hit Rook. That's pure speculation, pal, and you know it. Maybe. But can you prove it's not true? Not with any certainty, no. You're nothing without conclusive proof. So come on! A single piece of evidence straight through my heart. I dare you. Well, what are you waiting for?
There must be something. Wasn't there, Mr. Edgeworth? If we can't prove it, Tabby's. Please, Ruffles. I messed up, I know I did. I should never have done what I did. Not even for a scoop. But murder? No, that ain't me. Ain't a murderer's bone in my body.
Conclusive proof. If only I could prove that Knight's gun is the murder weapon. And wait, perhaps I can. If you at least had the bullet that burst the balloon, you might have a scrap of credibility. Imagine, you could have run forensics to see if it matched my gun. If we had the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, forensics could tell us which gun it was fired from. No proof, no case. End of conversation.
Objection!
Hold it right there. What now? You're not about to claim you do have proof. Of course I do. This ought to be good. Alright, bring it on. Show me this proof of yours. The bullet that killed Mr. Rook is the key to ending our little game. Very well. My conclusive evidence is... not currently in my possession. Alright then, thanks for playing, folks, but that's game over. However, it is here in this room. What? As we know, the bullet that killed Mr. Rook passed through his body. But where did it end its journey? Perhaps we could cast our minds back to an earlier conversation. After passing through his body, the bullet that took Mr. Rook's life then found itself lodged in the vest. He's right. If the president hadn't been wearing the vest, things could have been a lot worse. Worse. But now, of course, we know that the so-called assassination attempt was a complete fabrication. The vest was prepared in advance, made to look as if it had been hit by a bullet. Which begs the question, where is the real bullet? I like it. Twist. This is good stuff, Edgeworth. Come on then, don't keep us in a suspense. Does any of the evidence point to where the bullet that killed Mr. Rook might have ended up? Up.
Take that!
There's something very clearly missing from this room. Yes, a prosecutor with some common sense. Take a look at the bank of security monitors. Sorry. Oh. I see you've caught on, Mr. President. Splendid. There are screens here showing views from all around this airplane, inside and out. The only external angle not covered is the right-hand side of the aircraft. And that's because one of the monitors is missing. There was a monitor in that space previously, wasn't there, Mr. President?
There was. I have no idea what my plushie is doing there right now, though.
It appears to be. It appears to be someone's vain attempt to hide what is obviously lacking. But where did it go and why? The why is easy enough to answer. Because it was struck by a bullet. For if we were to believe that the bullet in the vest was the real deal, then anything that hinted at the existence of another bullet had to be removed.
So, where did the missing monitor go?
Where indeed? I believe that it must be hidden somewhere on this plane. After all, there wouldn't have been time to dispose of it outside the aircraft. Detective Gumshoe, conduct a search, if you would. Right away, sir! Mr. President, extraterritoriality, remember?
I have no objection to the search. Please go ahead. If it will help us discover the truth behind what happened to Rook, I would not stand in your way.
What are you? I don't believe this! Rook this, Rook that! Don't you ever think about anybody else! The search has been authorized, Detective, if you wouldn't mind. Sir! I found the monitor! Excellent work. Now go ahead and extract the bullet. Let's see. If I put my hand in here and just... Come on, come on, come on. Got it! Well, would you look at that? Blood. This is the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, there's no doubt about it. And there you have it, Mr. Knight. The single piece of evidence you requested, straight through your heart. Even you must now admit that this bullet didn't come from the spectator area gun. And Miss Lloyd cannot be Mr. Rook's killer. What? No pithy comeback? Detective, have forensics analyze the bullets for striations and compare them to the gun we found. I've never seen that word before. How's that pronounced? Hold up, let me look the pronunciation up real quick. Striations. What? Stray? Where's the stray from? Where's the extra A from? What the hell is this? English is weird, man. Okay, anyways. Yes, sir! We'll get the evidence you need. You can count on it. Alright, let's hear what forensics has to say.
Our findings are as follows, sir. Firstly, the blood on the bullet is indeed that of the victim,
Proving that it was the bullet that killed Mr. Rook.
Secondly, we found Mr. Knight's fingerprints on the gun.
Probably from where I landed all the evidence over to him. Now for the key part. The striations. If they're not a match, then Miss Lloyd is in the clear.
Lastly, the striations on the bullet are a match with this weapon.
What? But how could that be?
No way! Ah, come on! There's no doubt about it, sir. This is the gun that fired the bullet.
How? Well, isn't that something? Conclusive proof that I was right. What's the matter? You didn't think you had me backed into a corner, did you? Guess you misread the board. Because the only one backed into the corner here is you. There's no denying it. Forensics proved that the gun and the bullet are a match. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun you found in the spectator area. So who pulled the trigger? It can't have been me. I was up on stage, which leaves your little friend. The hack killed Rook. She's the murderer, and you just proved it. Your move, Edgeworth, but just remember 2 things. 1, where you found that gun, and 2, which gun the fatal bullet came from. Whichever way you look at it, I can't have been the shooter. How did it come to this? Yes. Me and the president, we admitted to faking the assassination attempt. Now it's your turn to admit something. Who the killer really is.
There's no way Tabby did it. Is there?
Don't let him get to you, Kay. We just need to go over his statements again. There must be something further we can deduce from them.
Okay. Let's do this, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
No, that's...
Objection!
What was it you said? That forensics would back you up? How does it feel to be shot in the chest by your own conclusive proof, huh? Not so good, I imagine.
The bullet and the gun are a match, Mr. Edgeworth. That kind of doesn't mean that Tabby pulled the trigger, no?
Even so, I simply cannot accept that. But sir, there's no denying the evidence. There isn't. So what am I missing? If I assume Mr. Lloyd to be innocent, then the gun and the bullet shouldn't be a match. What is it, Kay?
I was just thinking. If the evidence points to something that doesn't seem possible, then maybe there's something wrong with it.
You're asking me to call the evidence into question.
Well, there's no way Tabby did this, right? So if the evidence says that she did, then the problem must lie there.
You seem very sure about this.
Call it my great thief's intuition.
Intuition, huh? Still, she could be right. I simply don't believe Miss Lloyd to be a malicious liar, which means... As someone who believes that evidence is everything in court, the irony is not lost on me, but... If I were to call a piece of evidence into question, it would have to be... the gun. If something untoward is going on here, it would have to involve the weapon, not the bullet. After all, we only recovered the bullets a little while ago. Oh. Furthermore, we know that Mr. Knight had an opportunity to handle the gun.
Now hand over the evidence you have gathered and remove yourselves from this plane.
Hey. I'd do as he says if I were you, Edgeworth. This can't really be the end of the line, can it? Indeed, he had ample opportunity. There's no doubt that this gun is the weapon that was used in the crime. Which means it must belong to...
Take that!
The gun belongs to Mr. Knight. He switched them around. That has to be it.
Objection!
Admitted. You switched the guns, didn't you, Mr. Knight? That's why the markings matched the weapon in question. It was yours all along. An intriguing move there, Edgeworth. And you must have made the switch when I handed over the evidence, while I was busy trying to make the case for remaining on the investigation. You took the laser sight from the gun we found in the trash can and put it on your own. Then, not long afterwards, you handed that gun back to me instead of the one we found. I did, huh? You think I somehow knew you'd find, let alone run forensics on a bullet sometime in the future? Is that so strange? You're a chess player after all. A man well used to thinking several moves ahead. I'm flattered, but much as it pains me to admit it, you're overestimating my abilities. Besides, do you even have any proof that I made the switch? The gun is the same model as mine. Weird, sure, but it's just a coincidence. And look, there's a laser sight attached. Also, take a look in the cylinder. 2 spent bullets. Just what we'd expect to see. So what proof do you have that I switched the original gun out for mine, huh? None. That's what. You say I'm overestimating your abilities. You surprise me. What can I say? I'm a modest guy. More modest than you, that's for sure. Everywhere except at the chessboard, that is. Well, I don't see a chessboard here, do you? Shame. Still, guess that gives you a nice excuse. I didn't mess up. I just didn't have the right evidence. I don't think I'll be the one making excuses. Rather, I didn't mess up. They just got lucky with the evidence. Will be your excuse, I'd imagine. Damn. Edgeworth ain't having any of it.
Objection!
I have your proof. Right here. That's your proof? I think you've been working too hard, Edgeworth. Not the gun itself, the evidence it carries. Evidence that will prove, once and for all, that it does, in fact, belong to you. I'm looking forward to this. Go ahead. Make my day. I mean, make your move. What's about to come into play? The rook? Bishop? Not a pawn, surely. The evidence the gun will provide takes the form of fingerprints. Namely your fingerprints, Mr. Knight.
Objection!
My prints? Of course my prints are on the gun. You handed it right to me when you gave up the evidence. How could they not be on there?
Objection!
What if I told you there are prints on a part of the gun that you shouldn't have touched at any point? What? What? Where? You can't prove that. Oh, but I can. There is a place where your fingerprints could never have been left, if things happened as you say. Allow me to present the final piece of evidence that will bring our game to its rightful conclusion. Here, look closely at the cylinder, detective. 2 bullets fired. Where are the prints we're looking for, sir? You did indeed switch the guns when I handed you the evidence. But if that were all you had done, your deception would have been easily detected. Because the number of bullets fired by each gun was different. There are 2 spent bullets in the gun we found.
Yeah, what about Mr. Knight's gun?
We know that he fired 2 bullets from the stage into the balloon. And he fired another bullet into Mr. Rook, ending his life. So 3 bullets in total, plus the few old ones he let loose in shock during a little game. And after each shot, he reloaded his gun out of habit. With his bare hands, of course. Officer, where exactly were Mr. Knight's fingerprints found? The ones you mentioned in your report.
Sir, they were found on the exterior of the weapon, but also on the bullets themselves.
I'm not sure they could have gotten there just from me handing you the evidence, Mr. Knight.
That's...
And there we have it. Proof that you did indeed switch the guns. This gun, the one which fired the bullet that killed Mr. Rook, is yours. And in taking his life, you are the true assassin.
I didn't...
Checkmate.
No!
I was going to be the new chief of security. That blasted Rook! If it hadn't been for him, I would have been in charge by now. I would have been in control of the whole team. My plan was perfect. The fake assassination was supposed to be flawless. Detective Gumshoe. Right away, sir. Curse you, Edgeworth! Our game isn't over yet. I'm afraid this is as far as we go for today. The next moves we play will be in the courtroom. But it's not fair! It's not fair!
Mr. Edgeworth, I owe you a debt of gratitude. You exposed the murderer within the ranks of my own personal guard. I will not soon forget that.
He's sounding very presidential again, now that we're back outside the plane.
I saw it, you know, when I first proposed the fake assassination to him.
You want me to handle it? Not Rook?
Rook refused, but I can rely on you, can't I?
Of course, sir. You can count on me. I'll put together a plan that can't possibly fail. And he'll play his part like the pawn he is.
The hatred in his eyes was plain to see. He despised poor Rook. I was not entirely comfortable about moving forward with Knight in charge of our little deception. And looking back, I think he sensed my discomfort. I can't help thinking I played a part in his decision to end Rook's life.
Mr. President, none of this would have happened if you hadn't plotted to fake an attempt on your life. That was your crime, and it is a crime you have to live with.
You are right. I can only apologize for the part I played, and I will no doubt be made to pay for my actions in one way or another. But I thank you nonetheless. You solved the riddle of Rook's demise, and for that, I shall be eternally grateful. I will be here in your country for a little while longer yet. But when I have returned home, perhaps you will visit us in Jiangfa. You will always be welcome.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! Y'all don't know how grateful I am. All's well that ends well.
Miss Lloyd, the accusation of murder made against you was of course entirely groundless. But the fact remains that you were a willing participant in a staged assassination attempt. The police will no doubt wish to speak to you about the matter. You should be aware that you may well be punished for your actions.
I know. And I'm awful sorry about everything. Truly, I am.
I understand your desire for a scoop, but there are limits.
There sure are. I got me some serious thinking to do. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! That was something else. Local prosecutor solves assassination conundrum. Earns eternal gratitude of president. How's that for a headline? Hey, that there's my department. Mr. Prosecutor, how does it feel to solve an important case? You must be over the moon.
She clearly doesn't stay down for long. No comment.
Dang, you're one tight-lipped son of a gun. Tight-lipped son of a gun.
As well I should be. This case is not over yet. It isn't? How come, sir? Because until we unravel the story behind this, the case will never be completely over.
Take that!
The killer's calling card.
Mr. DeKiller has yet to complete his assignment. You mean he might still try to murder the president? I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not, this could all blow up into something more sinister yet. As one would expect with the attempted assassination of a president. The case was all over the news, and my preparations for Mr. Knight's trial were constantly interrupted by requests from the press. There wasn't a person in the land who didn't know about the case. Everybody was talking about it. But in the midst of the frenzy that followed, nobody noticed that this was only the first move in a game far bigger than any of us could have imagined. Ooh, cliffhanger. And that about does it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to hop off for tonight. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna add some timestamps later, but